Apricot's nest, apricot's nest. We'll sing and we'll learn because birds are the best. Apricot's nest, apricot's nest. We'll sing and we'll learn on Apricot's nest. Hey there, welcome back to Apricot's Nest. I'm Emma, the bird lady. It's spring here in Canada and we're so excited to see some birds coming back to visit after their winters away down south. The migratory birds are moving at this time of the year to get to their breeding grounds, and we thought it would be a great time in April over the next few weeks to focus on some of our migratory bird species.
It's time to guess, what is this bird? Can you guess with me? It is a mystery.
Did you recognize that bird? What was it?
Aren't they cute? Today's bird is an American robin. The American robin is a common songbird, and it's known for its round belly, that's a rusty orange color, and they lay a teal colored eggs in their nest in the springtime. And the sight of their eggs is so common, we even call the color of them robin egg blue. You're very likely to see American robins bobbing around the ground in the springtime looking for bugs and worms.
Tweet, tweet, where do they sleep? Where do they live?
So have you seen robins in your yard or in your neighborhood? It's very common to see them on our lawns, in our backyards, in our gardens, fields, pastures, parks, in the forest. They're everywhere in the springtime. And they're often bobbing around the ground, maybe looking for worms, but you'll also see them up in the trees too.
Tweet, tweet, what do they eat? Let's talk about their food.
So we often associate American robins with worms, even so far as there's a very common line saying the early bird gets the worm. We often picture a robin when we think of the early bird of spring, one of those first birds that kind of come back after a cold winter and make you think spring is coming. Robins do eat a lot of worms, but it's actually kind of interesting. They vary their diet throughout the day. So in the mornings, the robins will eat lots of worms, and then as the day goes on in the afternoon, they actually like to eat berries. And this also works with the seasons too. So early in the spring, before the berries are here, they eat more worms. Later in the summer, when there's lots of different types of berries and fruits growing on their trees, they're more likely to eat more berries.
Would you like a fun fact? Here you go. It's time for some fun facts.
So a fun fact about robins is that many of them don't actually migrate out of their general area where they're living. So you might actually not see them in your backyards near as much, but usually robins just go into the woods or the forest in a big group of robins, and they kind of stay in the forest so they can eat off the trees and stay sheltered throughout the winter. And then they come back to our lawns towards the end of the winter, and that's when we start seeing them more often in their little groups of maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, whereas in the winter they're often not too far away in the woods in bigger groups than that. That's kind of neat, hey?
It's a look-alike bird. Put your spectacles on. It's a sneaky, tricky look-alike bird. Not the same species at all.
A varied thrush is part of the same family of birds as the American robin because the American robin is also a thrush.
You'll notice that the varied thrush, though, has an orange eyebrow on its face and orange patches on their wings as well that the robin doesn't have. The varied thrush is also much less common here on the east coast of North America than the American robin. The orchard oriole might look a little bit familiar after watching our Baltimore oriole video from a few weeks ago, as they're in the same family of orioles. However, the orchard oriole could get confused with a robin because it has similar rusty red breast on the male orchard oriole, just like the robin. But the oriole is smaller than a robin, and it's rare to see an orchard oriole on the east coast of North America where robins are plentiful. And orioles actually eat different food too. They're more likely to be eating fruit, berries, and jellies than the worms and the insects that the robins like. All right, bird quiz friends, here we go. We'll show you 3 birds we've learned about in previous episodes, and you'll have a chance to guess them before we share the answers with you at the end.
Bird quiz, let's all test our knowledge. Bird quiz, let's learn, kids. Put on your thinking cap.
Thank you for playing our bird quiz again. How did you do? Our first video was a bald eagle, the second was a Baltimore oriole, and the third was a double-crested cormorant.
Thank you for checking out our video on the American robin. It felt like a very appropriate video to start our little spring session of Apricot's Nest videos too. I love the sound of the robins singing from the trees in the spring, or seeing them bobbing along and all the little sounds they make. I hope you are lucky enough to see one in your own environment, and we'll see you again soon on our next episode. Cheep cheep.
Birds, 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 flying so high. Birds, 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 up in the sky. They are in the pond, up in a tree. They are on your lawn. Won't you sing with me? Birds, 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 have wings and beaks. Birds, 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 listen for their tweets on Apricot's Nest. Apricot's Nest, we'll sing and we'll learn, because birds are the best on